Gurudev. Welcome to the series 8 of One Guru, One Technique. The topic today is Power of Faith. I'm Sharmila, and here with me is Srimati Priya Menon, International Faculty of Art of Living, and I'm proud to tell that she's my great teacher too. Now, let us start with chanting Guru Mantra.
Yes, ma'am. And before starting, thank you so much. I know how busy you are. You know, especially since the school is going from online to offline, admissions and so many things. And you've been practicing this Kriya regularly for the last more than 2 years. So it is a privilege and an honor to have you in this show. And thank you so much for coming, taking your time out and coming for the show, ma'am. Right. We'll start with Guru.
Yes.
Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. Ma'am, we'll start. Before starting the question, ma'am, I would like you to introduce yourself.
I'm Sharmila, Principal of Shempark Public School, a sister concern of Amala institutions. It's exactly located in Edapadi in Salem district.
We run in many other schools, no ma'am? You've been working
Yes, ma'am. Previously, I was working in Winner Vikas International School. It is in Konganapuram. It's also in Salem district.
Okay.
I started my career as a teacher in my own school. It is St. Thomas English School. I was working for
Calicut,
11 years.
In Calicut, no?
No.
Where is it?
It is in Gurudev, Nilgiris.
Okay, right.
It is around 50 kilometers from Ooty. From there, I shifted to St. Jude's Public School, one of the most renowned school of Tamil Nadu. It's an ICSE school. It's in Kotagiri. From there, I came to Hindu International School. I worked there for 2 years, and I shifted to Salem district as principal. Now I'm continuing my service as principal for the past 4 years in this present school.
You are the right person for this particular topic, ma'am, because your experience with children, teenagers is like immense. So, you know, once again, it's a privilege to have you for the show.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, we are dealing with the topic, power of faith. What is exactly faith?
Dharmi, ma'am, it's very difficult to explain because faith is faith is an experience. You know, this is basically you have to ask this to Gurudev. In the sense like Gurudev says, faith is there in us. It is just that we have to be aware that the faith is there. Because otherwise the doubt dominates our life. If we see in having faith in the divine comes at the ultimate. But ma'am, if you see in our day-to-day life, you know this better than me. You've been handling so many children now. we have lost faith in each other. The sense like the mobiles and the technology has taken over so much that, we give the mobile to our children, and when they go to school, when we were studying, when I remember, I used to have special classes, I used to have so many things, we were discussing now, ma'am, so many things. None of them, my mother never calls up over the phone and say, where are you? She has a trust that she must be late because of something. But now what is happening is, every step, see, I'm not saying it's wrong. Technology is right in its own sense, but human values are much above that. You being faithful, you having a faith on someone elevates yourself and also elevates the other person. He or she will have a feeling in his heart that there's someone who's trusting me, who has faith on me. And even if that particular child or even if that particular person wants to do a mistake, he will not be able to do a mistake just because there is one person in our family who is having a trust or a faith on you. And I think that is a beginning of the power of faith, because this power of faith has the power to transform another person. But at the same time, if you're going to put a doubt every time when you keep calling someone, where are you with, whom are you with, these are common things that we do. Like, for example, if a child doesn't reach a home, the principal, now it's directly to the principal. Initially, it was to the students, or to the teachers. Now the call directly comes to us, where is my child? Come on, have patience and wait for some time. The world is not completely, bad. It has a lot of good people. And let me tell you, it's just that they're silent and quiet, that's all. And during our times also, all these were there. Still, with the power of faith, wherever we are right now, it's because of the faith of our parents, faith of our, people around us, that they had the faith that this child will not do anything wrong. See, the more you are trying to, call up, and I'm not contradicting the parents who are calling up, no. But what I'm saying is, please have trust, please have faith. The faith does magic to other people's life. The doubt is a negative vibration. Gurudev says, and all of us have experience when we go through doubt, the level of churning that we go through in our own self, more than others, the thoughts that we get are all negative. Suddenly you will feel all the negative thoughts. I don't want to say all that, when a child doesn't reach home, all the negative things comes in us, and our energy goes down, and we are giving that energy to the other person. That comes even as the elders, So faith, I would say, is a very high energy, high frequency transmission of energy to the other person or from us. So even if the child is making a mistake, your faith will be so strong in the child that even if he's made a mistake, he or she will come out of it successfully and say that I've made a mistake. So the faith brings courage to the relationship. It brings courage to the child rather than bringing, a fear to the child. When a child becomes, the moment a child has fear in them, the first step, Gurudev, every time he says, Sharmila, fear is like a pinch of salt. It is used in your body for safety. But don't allow fear to dominate your life. The moment it starts dominating our life, then, the quality of what our life is goes down. If we see, the most of the teenagers are going through anxiety syndrome and all this panic attack is because of the fear in them. And they are living in a fear just by making a small mistake. Mistakes, we should understand that it is always made out of ignorance and we have to move forward. So here, once again, the role of parents comes in, that parents also should be understanding to the child and, give the power of faith to the child, instead of saying, instead of listening to your society or to the neighbors, come on, give the faith and, tell the child to get up. And then we see, it is basically parents, teachers and the students. It's like a pyramid relationship that we bring out to the society. Yes, ma'am. You also contribute here, ma'am. Your experience would be an added thing here.
Yes. Actually, when you say this, I remember my father. He used to tell me, when I was when I was in 6th standard, 7th standard, he used to send me alone to the post office, to the bank. Even I used to go to my native alone. He will put me in the bus. He'll tell the conductor where to stop and
Kerala,
where
na
to.
ma'am?
I used to
Kerala
go to Calicut.
okay.
Ah, native of Kerala.
Ah,
So he used to train me like that, and now I can manage anything what comes. I want usually I'll tell my teachers also, give them little smile what you have. Let the children know that we are surrounded with good people. They'll get that confidence. That confidence gives us a lot of trust. I used to train my teachers like that.
it's absolutely true. The faith is a very powerful energy, or the very powerful confidence that we are giving to our next generation. Then what you said is
Yes.
rightly, I mean, it's perfectly correct that, that brings the next a stronger generation can be built only with faith and trust, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question is, how do we cultivate faith?
How do we do that?
Very
Actually,
difficult.
I know it's very
Yes.
difficult. Cultivating, this is once again Gurudev, and we have also experienced this. Gurudev always says faith is in us already. It is just that,
Yes.
too many, because of stress, tension, and the opinions of the people dominate our life so much that we lose faith in each other. When we hear a lot of negatives in the news, so many things about children we hear in the news, right? Negatives in the news, and then people, their relatives calling up and saying the same. So that actually pollutes our mind, I would say. Instead of that, when a person does pranayam, sudarshan kriya every day, or a child does all this, parents also do it, then a sort of faith is basically an experience. It cannot be cultivated, it is already there. So we have to be aware of the faith, that it is there. Only thing is we have to wake the faith up. Nowadays the faith is sleeping, so we have to say, hello, get up. Let's let's give it to
Yes.
the others. So I think the first thing that we have to, this is once again my opinion, ma'am, we have to have faith in ourselves, because when whatever we can give outside is all the things that we have inside only. Otherwise it will be so verbal that the child will understand that what she is speaking is very gross, because they are very smart. Children are extremely smart. So faith cannot be cultivated through events and experiences in our life. Faith becomes a part of our life. That's what I think. Ma'am, what do you say?
It's exactly correct, ma'am. We have faith. Actually, when we are born itself, we have faith, we have trust in our parents,
Correct.
our
Wow.
sisters, brothers. But I think the environment changes them. They come through a lot of different situations, many opinions. The opinions from others, uh, that is taken by the parents also.
Right.
That is inculcated in the students, small children, and they start disbelieving others.
Very true.
So that should be, we should give awareness for others. Maybe through, as you said, even spirituality gives them a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
So that should be inculcated in the parents as well as the environment, society. Society plays a lot of, that is a major role in
Ma'am,
inculcating
because
faith,
when a
trust.
child starts doing kriya at the age of 8, those children are very different.
Yes.
They are very different, because I'm not saying they're not like other children, or they have doubt, or they don't fall. They also make mistake. They also have lot of, however the child grows is the same. But what I have observed is the way they handle the situation is different. The way they see the particular situation is absolutely different, and they are able to handle it much better and move through it with the confidence that yes, I can do it. So what I have observed is faith brings a tremendous, see, at the same time the children also have to be taught that there are social elements, you have to be careful. That awareness is also needed. It's not that it should not be there, but yes, more than that, I would say, when you have faith, the rest is taken care. They will know how to handle the other part of it. Goodness the moment goodness take over us, or the moment the natural quality starts blossoming in a child or in anybody, then the rest of the things will automatically, start it will start moving down. Now, ma'am, what do you think?
Yes, ma'am, exactly. Ma'am, next is a very difficult question because it
Why
is
are you
dealing with
giving me all this?
adolescent children.
Why are you? Okay.
Adolescent children, very confused state of age.
Faith in
For
what, ma'am?
children and teenagers, how do we inculcate faith, or how faith works in them? Because it is easy for small children, it is easy to deal with, but teenagers, it is really, I find it very difficult here.
Right.
Especially
I think
after
this.
corona, it is.
I agree with you a lot. I think here the role of parents play. As a teenager, yeah, as a child, it's easy. From the age of 11, their exposure is a little bit, I would say the intellect has already started maturing. So this is where the entire confusion happens. I think this is more of a role of a parent and a teacher like me and
Yes.
teachers like you, because this is the age where confusion happens. So we have to make them aware that, we are there to, I have faith in you. You move forward. In the sense, like if I tell you, ma'am, I have, or you tell me, Priya, I am with you. You walk forward. Then, there is something that blossoms. And in the sense, like you say, whether you make a mistake, you don't make a mistake, you fall down also, I am with you to uplift you, to hold you. So I think that brings a shift in the child. That's what I feel personally. Because basically, why do we have doubt is when we are scared to make mistakes. Actually, we are very scared. Whether what will the society thinks, what will, especially during a teenage, it's the pressure of the friends also. The peer pressure is also there. Everything is there, and they have to be good in the family. Parents compare children. So many things they are going through. Between relatives, they are being compared. So I think here, the more than anybody, it is a role of parents, the teachers, principal, and the society, and teachers like me. If we, when the child starts, doing the kriya, and if I tell the child that, I have faith in you, then, the child has a feeling that, yes, I can go back to Priya ma'am and talk to her everything. So I think that one
Yes.
person can bring it, it shifts the child's level of understanding. And then I think it is, at least the child will know that, yes, I have somebody to completely open up myself to. I think, I don't know whether I've answered is right, but I think that's the best thing for a teenagers, through the parents. And I think the parents have to inculcate them from the small, because suddenly a
Yes.
teenager, you can't do much. It has to be from the upbringing. You have to slowly. Now that is where here all the spiritual practices and all Gurudev's wisdom plays a role, because Gurudev has, especially for children, of course, every manual Gurudev has put his heart and soul to it. For children, I would say he has grown up to the level of a child. He is a child. I can't say he has grown up also. He is always a child. He lives in that, space of innocence. So in that innocence came these manuals. I've heard that senior teachers telling how the Utkarsh Yoga and the Med Yoga manuals have come out. So Gurudev has worked on the mind of those children so well that these techniques have been designed in such a way that it transforms them from within. Transformation has to happen from within. So when the transformation happens from within, then the step up process of, faith, trust, what do you say, the rest of all our natural qualities, which is imbibed, like joy, being happy for nothing, all this is a part of our natural quality. So that will start blossoming by itself. So this is where, that's why we say, a child should start doing the breathing techniques from the age of 8. I'm a teacher who takes institution courses. So that's why we go tell and in different schools that, it's time that they all, and yes, lot of schools now wants it also. lot of schools have come forward and they've understood the value of spiritual education now. Knowing ourselves. Spirituality is nothing but knowing ourselves. The first step is always to know ourselves, because basically during courses when I ask them, can you tell a few lines about yourself, I've seen the children struggling, but a friend can tell about them very well. So if I know my own quality, you must be knowing, no, ma'am. If I know my own quality, then it is easy for when you start knowing your own quality and going within. When we start going within, then we see the outside. It's very easy to synchronize with the outside. That's what I think, ma'am. You add on to this. Teenagers, because you handle so much of teenagers for years together.
Yes, ma'am. It's one way. It's true. They should know themselves. Actually, all are born good. It's the situation what makes them bad or a terror. All this. So what I feel nowadays is, it is from my transformation. I say, I was very short-tempered. Even a few years back. Now, after practicing yoga and Sudarshan Kriya, I don't know where my anger has gone. I like myself very. It has got a very good discipline on me.
The sentence that you used was very nice. I like myself a lot. Wow, that's it.
It's like that is a good discipline in me. Actually, I wake up at 4 o'clock nowadays. It's not even Sundays. Before sleeping Saturday night, I'll be thinking, I'll wake up only at 8 o'clock. I'll miss this session, Kriya today. I'll sleep. But exactly 4 o'clock, I'll wake up. So I thought even everybody, that is, faith should not be kept for ourselves. It should be shared. The joy lies there. So I used to share my experience with mostly everybody. But I think still I have to work on it. After I have one more question. In relationships, sometimes faith breaks off with a small lie or a false understanding. How do we handle it?
Relationship is basically brother, sister, husband, wife, mother, father, like daughter,
Mother, children.
Or the closest relationships, right?
Yes.
Here, I would say give some room for imperfections. So we should understand that nobody is perfect in this world. See,
yes.
I openly say everybody. I'm not a perfectionist, though I think I was a perfectionist when I was doing things, but I'm not. See, my perfection may not be a perfection for you, ma'am. Your perfections, whatever slag is different. I mean, the line of what do you say? The line of perfection is different for different people. So we should understand that a person who lies to you loves you a lot, and he doesn't want to leave he values your relationship. Yeah, there are always extreme cases where people lie and they manipulate relationships. Let's not touch on that, because that's a totally complete different thing where we have to handle. Now that also can be handled with a lot of awareness. So that's why I keep telling everybody, keep practicing Sudarshana Kriya, keep practicing your daily Kriya, daily sadhana, because art of living, everything is very simple and very profound. So when the inner transformation happens, then you will be able to discriminate between who is really valuing you, who's lying you out of love, and who is not, who wants to manipulate you. So this discrimination happens only in our intellect, and for that we have to purify ourselves. So this purification happens only with breath. So relationships are very tender. The love, especially the closest relationships, only we clash only with the closest relationships. Otherwise, we are okay with everything. So when somebody clashes with you, you should always understand it's out of love. If you don't love each other, you will not even be able to see. You can't fight or you can't say all this with a person who's very far, who's very close to the heart. Only to them that you make a mistake and you don't know
Yes.
how to handle that, and then you land up in lying, and then you don't know how to face them. All this happens. So, but then if you have faith, like for example, if I'm giving you the faith, ma'am, that it's okay, or you're giving me the faith, more than me giving, it'll be nice if you give it. It's like, I'm like, Sharmi ma'am is there. When I make a mistake or if anything is there, Sharmi ma'am is there. I can always call up and tell her everything. So if this confidence is there, then in relationships it works. Now, once again, that happens with spiritual practice, both of them doing the spiritual techniques,
Yes.
especially should be in knowledge. Gurudev's all the knowledge, especially Bhakti Sutras. He's spoken very beautifully, and so many short videos are there in the YouTube, which clearly he says the relationship, how to handle. You need not handle any relationships. Relationships actually are blessed and given by the divine. We don't have relationship with the entire, all close. Of course, we are related to the entire universe. We are a part of the entire universe, but then, speaking, talking relationships are only very less around us. So only, and in that also, if you see, if you're fighting with, it will be only one or two. I don't think more than that,
Yes.
because those are the relationships wherein you are opening up your heart to that person. So even if that person is also completely understanding you, and he has complete faith in you, he or she has complete faith in you, that she is there, I can tell her anything, or my mother is there, or my wife is there, or my husband is there, I can tell her anything. She will understand that, I made a mistake, and she will acknowledge it, and she will understand. And a little bit of anger will come. That is also natural. Now, you can't expect the other
Yes.
person, if you've done something, you go and say, and then they will start pampering you. Nothing. They might be angry. Sometimes it happens. You should accept that anger also. That's why Gurudev says, all these emotions are a part of our life. We have to accept it. And the moment we start acknowledging the emotions, and then you understand that all these emotions are nothing but love. So if you can just, then it gets then that particular, emotions or that events will shift itself. It shifts itself to the faith level. Then you see the relationship will start blossoming. Actually, India had such beautiful relationships in the past. Our grandparents used to live such a relationship only. For them, the wife doesn't go to the office and all. She used to cook at home. Husband used to go do farming. All of us are from the farming background, isn't it not? Now only all of us have stepped forward. They know, they understand, and they have, their relationship used to be more than 50, 60 years. 60 years we have been together. I've heard this myself because I'm from a joint family. And my, grandparents, before grandparents, used to say, me and my wife, we have 60 years of married life. And I used to wonder, oh, now even it is so that is they give space for each other, and they have so much of faith. That doesn't mean that they don't fight and all. Of course, even we all, in our relationship, we're all married. So we fight. But that doesn't mean that, you don't love the other person. When you fight, it means you love. But now that's where, we have to have all the spiritual values. Those time they understood, they were reading Bhagavad Gita, they were reading that we say Ramayana mantra in Kerala. It was so profound there. All that they used to do, they used to. So that the mind has the ability or the patience to accept others. So they also know that, yes, he is my husband or he's my brother. Okay, he's done this. Let's do what it is. And so they were giving more value to human values than to the material part. But now it is a little, like, for example, in the joint family, what I've observed, ma'am, when in my family, when I go to Kerala, yearly once only I go. When I go to Palakkad, what they see is in the joint family, even if one, like my mother's brother is not in a very well-off situation, and if my father is there, they help each other even financially. They never say it out. So growing up from such a family, now I see, each person in the family, between husband and wife itself, you have this bank balance. People come and tell me,
Yes.
I find, oh my God, where is this going? So, India was like that. It is just a few years change. So it is just that we have lost those, it's not lost, I would say. We have forgotten. So bringing back those values through spiritual practice is very important. And the first step is knowing ourselves. I mean, when faith in divinity happens, only when we start from these simple things. You know, the most simplest things makes us very profound. So that is where, you know, faith in each other, faith, my faith in you, ma'am, and your faith in me, and each person, you know, our contribution to each other. When that faith becomes stronger, then your faith to the unknown becomes a part of you. Then it is, you know, then I would say, you know, I have faith in Gurudev will not be verbal. It will be more of an experience. It will be more of an understanding from within. Or I have faith in the divine power. You know, that will become a part of my experience. It is not even experience. It will become a part of us. Divinity is a part. It is us. Divinity is not separate from us. So to experience that, all these, when the divine has put all these relationships in such a way that through these relationships we have to experience, then come up to the divinity. Even if you see a person who has what do you say, the swamis, I would say they have given up everything in the family, but they have experienced it in the initial stage, isn't it not? They are born with the family. If you see Lord Buddha, he was in the family, so he had experienced everything and he had faith, and after that he started inquiring about what life is. So this is a journey, a process wherein we question ourselves, and then at that point, one step, you will have faith. Yes, faith in the unknown is a very challenging thing, but it gradually happens as you start believing that there is goodness in the universe, and then you will start believing. It happens by itself. Effortlessly, one day you will realize that the entire universe is nothing but, you know, it's our own. The entire universe is our family, and you know, each of us are protecting each other, and there is nothing to get really scared of. Then in reality it will start happening. You will see that the trees and the birds, everything will start, you know, in what you say, we completely come in correlation with it. So that is why Gurudev keeps telling, you know, Gurudev is the greatest example here. He is completely in sync with nature, that he doesn't have fear. You know, Gurudev speaks at a very different level, wherein, you know, when we really observe him, we'll understand that he's completely in align with the nature, completely in sync with the nature, that he knows that the universe is protecting him, and he knows the Mother Earth loves him. So that love is so profound in Gurudev. I would say Gurudev has so much of faith on each one of us, that each one of us are evolving. No, ma'am, see how much of faith he has on you, that the day you did Sudarshana Kriya, so much of transformation is happening. How much of faith he has on me that today I'm able to speak so much, you know, which I wouldn't have spoken a few years back. So each of us, if you ask even an 8-year-old child who's doing the Kriya and who has faith in Gurudev, you know, that gets shifted. So the faith, it is actually the faith in the divine having faith in us, that we are transforming. So if you can remember this one thing, that, you know, the divine loves me a lot, and the divine's protection and faith is there in me. The divine has complete confidence on me. The rest will be taken care. And that happens with these small relationships, you know, wherein those all the emotions we have to surpass to reach. And that happens by itself as you start doing your practices. You need not do anything for that. You just need to do the practice, and the rest will start effortlessly happening through you. Sharmila, hopefully I've answered. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am, surely. Ma'am, I want to tell something on this about
Tell me,
Gurudev, because that's an interesting topic. When I listen to you, know, it's a joy. It's very joyful to hear about Gurudev from different people, and hearing from you is really it's amazing. The thing is, earlier I knew about Gurudev when I used to attend 2 or 3 satsangs which happened in Coimbatore. It is nearly 20 years back. I used to like the satsang by Gurudev, but I didn't know anything about him. But now, after coming for the Kriya, I know a lot about him. The thing is, once around 1.5 years ago, during
Ma'am, you can
Corona
pick
time,
up the call.
I
I think
had
it's emergency. It's ringing. Yeah.
hello. Once I was having headache and fever, slight fever. I called you and you told me I'll send one Hari Om meditation by Gurudev. You listen to that and you sleep. You take a bath, listen to that, you do meditation and you sleep. I did that, and maybe even that time I didn't believe in that so much. Okay, I slept. I was fine the next day, but I never thought of you, or it is because of the meditation and all that. The same thing happened after that is 2 or 3 months before. I was totally down physically and mentally. Then I was thinking, I was searching for that Hariom meditation which you have sent the link, but I didn't get it. Then simply I switched on the TV. I never used to watch DD Puducherry and all that. Somehow I was switching over that and I saw Gurudev there with Hariom meditation. And that's the faith I cannot explain. I couldn't meditate that. I was thinking so much of impact Gurudev has on me. It's because I never miss the Kriya any day. So that's true what you said. You need a guru who says that this path is good. He will tell us in our mind, this is good, this is not good. He'll take us to our destiny easily. And this I've experienced many times. These
Nice to
simple
listen to you,
things.
ma'am. What you said is right. Ma'am, he knows everything.
My eyes are welled up when I say this, because that's due to joy I'm telling.
Wakefulness and
Hmm.
yeah. Gurudev knows everything and he takes care of everyone. You have
Yes.
never met him till now. I know that. There is a pending thing for me that you have to reach the ashram and meet Gurudev, which I'll do it. Because I know you are also busy and Gurudev is also extremely busy now that what you say, the dates have to match, which I'll do it. From my side, as a teacher, I'll definitely take you. But whether you meet him or not, his connection with you is very eternal. So that has, you cannot, value. There's nothing, I have nothing to say. It's beyond words. I'm so happy you're experiencing that, you're able to share it. That itself is a great thing. And his protection is always there, ma'am. That's why I keep telling all of them, you need not worry. Why are you getting scared, Yes, even I used to have fear in the beginning, so I don't disagree with anything. But yes, the more the faith becomes stronger in our life, then the rest of the things start taking a lead in our life. Ma'am, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm also feeling. I don't know. Tell me, ma'am.
No, I want everybody to experience this.
For a
I don't
change.
know how to share with everybody. I don't know how far they'll understand me. They may say, I don't know how they'll take it, whether they'll take it in the right sense. But I used to speak to my children, to my students. You should have a guru in your life. Whoever it is, you find somebody, have faith on them. And having a living guru it's really great. We know about Lord Shiva, Krishna, all this, but we haven't seen him. We haven't experienced them. But experiencing a living guru is really, we are lucky to be in this generation to have him.
This is a historic
That's my
generation.
experience.
We are
Yes.
experiencing a historic generation where times will tell. Because
Yes.
future people will be reading this era in the books. But we are living in that era. So we are living in a very profound and it's extremely, no words. So today you will conclude instead of me. Over na ma'am question. I went to conclusion. Oh,
The questions are there, but you have answered all the questions. There's no
okay.
separate questions as such. It is how to have faith in our nation, towards our nation.
Country, yes. You should have faith in the country. Ma'am, the problem right now,
Yes.
whatever challenges we are facing is the people have lost they think by going abroad and working and making money is everything. No. They think, the government or whatever that we are doing right now, it is a waste of thing. And they're seeing so much, there are a lot of good people who are actually supporting the changes. It's not that. But any new thing that comes, it has its own seed. You've been following certain techniques
Yes.
for the last 20, 25, 30 years. Suddenly the changes are happening. People are not able to accept it. But if you just think a little bit deeply into whatever is happening in the country, it is going through a proper channel only. There will definitely be flaws, remember, because we have trust and patriotism in our country. Because if we don't trust our country, then who will be? I've seen people, ma'am, believe me, I've seen people telling me, oh, this country is superb, that country is superb, oh, India's like this. Come on. We have
Yeah.
always, how can you say that? Especially once you leave the country, our country is our country. And being born in a country like India, where the rishis have meditated and Vedas have been written here, aren't we not
Yes.
fortunate? In all these diversities, we are very happy. Anywhere the Indian goes, we can acknowledge, accommodate any place, any situations, any weather. It's because of the land that we are born in. This is a land where, the gurus are born. And once again, this is a mistake of the parents. The parents have never taught them the value of a country. They
Country.
always sit in front of the TV and blame the country. Road is not good. Laws is not good. Trade. So this is, children hears and they say, okay, let me not stay in the country. Our country is rich. When we start tapping the potential of our country, we will not be the next generation children and youth will not be going abroad at all. I can give it to you in guarantee, because the laws are being nicely placed and put together now. It will take some time for the people to understand. Yes, a lot of people have already understood. There are a section of people who are waking up and who are understood, but there are other section. I think the section of people who are waking up are more compared to the
More.
people who
Yes.
are fighting against it. But fighting against it is always there, so we need not bother. In our own
Yes.
house, if you see suddenly one timetable changes, there is people
Yeah.
immediately will say no. So this is there from, so it's okay. It's a part of change. No, ma'am, you have to accept it.
Yes, ma'am. We should start educating the
Right?
children, next generation, that instead of asking
They
what the country did for you, what you are doing for the
are
country.
doing exactly
And our nation is mother nation. As we love our mother, we should love our nation also. Then there won't be any other question regarding that.
right.
Ma'am, the last question. How do we have faith in our daily life? How to inculcate faith in our daily life? And how do we develop a divine within us?
Faith in daily life is, see, from the moment you're getting up. First thing, begin your day with a prayer. First thing, you
Yeah.
sit in the, sit on your bed and pray in such a way that you're grateful that you've got up in the morning. Nowadays, getting up in the morning itself, we don't know whether the next day we'll ever get up or not.
Yes.
So begin your day with gratefulness and begin your day with having faith that whatever my actions are, this is once again is my experience and I'm doing this every day. So that's why I'm able to share this. So I pray to Gurudev every day in the morning that through me, all the actions that I'm doing it through the entire day, let it bring goodness to others. If at all I'm making any mistakes, I should be aware that I'm making a mistake and I should not repeat the mistake. So this is how I begin my day. Having faith, I begin my day with a prayer and having faith in Gurudev, who's holding me and taking me forward. So then, all the actions that happens through you, the words, what you speak to others, each thing matters. No, ma'am, daily life, everything matters. My conversation with my son, my mother, everything matters. Each of us plays a role. So that becomes, that becomes more natural, and the actions will not go wrong at all. Through you, no actions will go wrong if we can begin our day with the gratefulness and having faith in for me it's Gurudev, because Gurudev is there. Having faith in Gurudev that he is guiding me, and through me no actions will go wrong to anybody, neither to me nor to others. So my presence in anyone, like I'm present in your life in the form morning, I'm giving you Kriya, online Kriya. So all this is happening. So my presence in your life should uplift you, and your presence in my life should uplift me. So this is the only prayer I have. And yes, we make mistakes. So I in the once the day ends and when I'm going to bed, I surrender all my mistakes, everything to Gurudev. Surrender in the sense like I say I'm offering everything to you, Gurudev. If I may not, sometimes I may do some mistakes, or I would have hurted somebody, but that is not intentional. There are times when we do so many things, actions can, my actions may not be liked by the other person. So, I pray that, intentionally or unintentionally, if I've done anything wrong, please forgive me, because I've done it without knowing. Let my awareness be so sharp that tomorrow I should be able to perform better. So this is the thing that I do, and it works for me. So I'm just sharing it. Hopefully it works for everybody. I don't know. Anything else, ma'am? You are doing it. You begin your day with prayer. I know that. You 1
Yes,
hour
ma'am.
you sit in prayer. That
Yes.
much I know.
Starting a day with prayer, it makes our day great. I only want to inculcate all these qualities to the students and my dear teachers also. I'm
Will
taking
happen.
steps for that. Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, I'll come down to your school. We'll have courses there, Med Yoga, Utkarsh Yoga and all. And everything will
Yes, ma'am.
change. We'll do it. Okay, ma'am?
Sure. I
So
need a
done?
lot of positive energy here. Yes, ma'am.
Edappadi. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, ma'am. You've taken your
Thank you, ma'am.
valuable time. I know how busy you are, and you have really spoken from your heart. It was really wonderful to talk to you. You really your touch. Your talk, your experience will touch a lot of hearts, and a lot of children in
Great.
your school will start, you know, coming and asking you for a lot of things. So thank you
Thank you
and Jai
so much,
Gurudev.
ma'am, being with me for this long years.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I would like to travel with you and Gurudev for the rest of the years also. And I'm
And
sure it will happen.
it's already happening. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. Jai Gurudev.
Yes, ma'am. Jai Gurudev. Thank you.